What's up, guys? Ash here, and welcome to the first DPS tier list with a focus on chain killing. If this does well, I will do additional lists like, best single target, best multi-target, but, we'll see how it goes. Also keep in mind that this list is created with only PvE in mind. PvP is a completely different beast, and classes like melee version of Magic Knight that gain strength via cursed soul stacks, through killing lots of enemies, would not do so well in PvP. Also, this is just my opinion, and in other games, people tend to become triggered over tier lists, right? So take this with a grain of salt. I have played quite a bit of the game, and I think this is a pretty good start for sure. And then keep in mind that this list is specialized. One shot, one kill is a common mastery that even beasts can use. So even though you could make an Anne white mage that murders pretty well, she wouldn't be able to chain kill like this due to limited AP recovery options. I'm viewing this in the lens of specialization of characters that far exceed the barriers of chain killing. Alright guys, we are going to do a kind of top 5 list, starting at the bottom here with Giselle Sniper in the 5th position. Giselle Sniper is very interesting because she has the highest attack range in the game, which allows her the option to go full glass cannon even in a party setting. And given the right build, can even deal damage to butchers on the highest difficulty like you're seeing here. She has some amazing line attack mechanics from abilities like Decisive Shot and Battlefield Splitting Shot, which allow for some multi-kill. But what really makes Sniper sing is her class passive, Sniping, which recovers 1 AP if a target is out of action by your attack while you're not within the enemy's line of sight. Right here, you can see that she's getting 2 AP back, and as long as they can't actually see her, she's getting 1 AP from one shot, one kill, and 1 AP from sniping, allowing her to recover 2 AP total and make essentially either very small movements to slowly creep up on the enemy and make sure that you're staying out of vision range to make full use of sniping, or you can take that 2 AP and make a large movement to kind of reach the next pack. Unfortunately, Giselle is slightly held back by a multi-hit capability. You can sort of create a multi-hit via her ability Chain Fire, like right here onto Mark. The reason why Mark doesn't die in one shot here is because she's running a giant killer build, and her health essentially puts it at what, like 2,750, which Mark doesn't actually hit yet. But what's cool about Chainfire, as long as you hit the second hit with a one-shot, one-kill, you will return your action point. You can then reload and Chainfire back into it again and allow her to kill units basically without needing one-shot, one-kill. However, this is very sparse, and it does take some getting used to. On top of that, AP recovery is very dependent on player skill, but certainly the sniper kit is definitely there for her to chain kill, and she does it incredibly well. Alright guys, and coming in at number 4 is Leton Superstar. I'm sure I will get lots of flack for this particular positioning, but I am pretty confident in that he is definitely capable of holding this slot. Leton Superstar is by far the most complex class in the game, and while many players may never actually touch it, does not take away from how powerful the class really is. He is one of, if not the only class on this list to not need to rely on one shot, one kill, which is a staple for this entire list thanks to triggering continuous, which grants a guaranteed 1 AP regardless of the outcome. I've personally spent tons of hours on this class finding the most advanced possible strategies, and if you've ever watched my stream, you know that Litan can cover massive ground, either from back tumbling, continuous, or improvisational wrap-up. And even though Litan does not technically have a multi-hit ability, continuous can easily allow for 4 hits in a row or more on the same target if played correctly. Unfortunately for Leton, the kind of lack of block shred and needing to rely on breakthrough, he does have slightly less damage than all of the other characters on this list. And realistically, he has the highest skill cap of any class of the game, or he would likely be in the number 3 spot. He holds a very dear spot in my heart. I I love playing characters that are kind of the underdog, and you know, quite often you'll see players, I don't know what to do with Litan, I don't know what to make with Ice SP. Make no mistake, he is certainly capable of incredible feats. It just takes a while to actually learn how to play it. That's all. Coming in at number 3 is Bianca's Black Mage. Bianca's movement is only overshadowed by Albus, as being a similar wind user, she has so many options to continuously attack from using Twist or Kick, Wind Walk, Great Valley Wind, or Magic Stamp. This allows her to blaze through maps at blinding speed, and she can even use movement from her infamous dunk ability, Wind Explosion. This massive kit of movement allows Bianca total freedom of the battlefield, all the while her Black Mage class and incredibly high ESP ratios allow her to deal punch-through damage. Whether they block or not doesn't really matter to BB, even on the highest difficulty levels. The cost of this massive movement and raw damage is that BB has some of the worst defenses in the entire game. Placing her in the wrong spot or going too far from her team can certainly position her for death. BB is also held back by a lack of multi-hit capability and somewhat limited AP recovery from Great Valley Wind and Magic Stamp, both of which can have kind of rather high cooldowns still. Good cycling of abilities with Catharsis along with map knowledge can see her blast through most maps with ease. Coming in at number 2 is Heixing Sweeper. I generally recommend that players use Ranger. I think it's far more well-rounded. Sweeper has almost no defense. It actually has 0 defensive masteries as a whole, which is absolutely ridiculous. But Heixing has the strongest AoE of any troubleshooter in the game, period. Sweeping Fire is so ridiculous in size of the cone, it hits through walls. It allows Heixing to decimate entire packs in a single ability. And he can also lean into his Spirit SP and Sharp Spirit as needed for block shred. And towards the end of the game, it's not uncommon to see 500 SP if necessary, although it does feel kind of like overkill. If that isn't enough, Sweeper's Mop-Up class ability allows for a return on action points if all enemies within your line of sight are out of action. Kind of similar to Giselle, just slightly tweaked. Allowing him to move and fire, continue to the next pack, move and fire. You can see right here as I'm, slowly trashing these guys. Normally this would be really bad, but of course Heixing can use Sprint, which almost acts as kind of like a wind walk. This allows him to just continue on with no regard to pretty much anything. And again, Sweeping Fire right here. Renzi's pack has not even been alerted. This is the highest difficulty in the game. God. And it's just so freaking ridiculous. And this map is actually done in about I would say 2.5 minutes, which for 54 Violent on the hardest difficulty, if you can imagine taking out 2/3 of the map in about 2 minutes, that's unheard of. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And part of the reason why I actually think Heixing is close or basically inside an S tier, and I'll show you guys the rankings and kind of why I think about it this way later. But for sure, he has definitely earned his spot as the number 2, and even though his defense may be really bad, many of the characters' defenses on these are really bad, and that just kind of comes with the whole glass cannon archetype. Interesting to note here that Heixing also has the potential to multi-hit, quote unquote, by clipping, and I went over clipping in the Sweeper class where you were fighting Skull Team, but basically using this AoE cone to one-shot, one-kill to return AP allows Heixing to fight characters that have impulse fields or Skull Seal or Sand Castle, what have you, and allows him to continue on. This makes him such a ridiculous character as a whole. And even if you thought that wasn't good enough, he of course is blessed with Annihilation Shot. which is his incredibly powerful overcharge ability. And, you know, if we just fast forward here into right before Schwartz, um, he's going to gain his AP back through mop up, climb the tower, look over to Schwartz, and just unleash Annihilation Shot and just completely obliterate him off the map. Absolutely ridiculous. This is completely unreal, and being able to see him even take down the dreaded Destrons in a single turn, ridiculous. All right, guys, and finally at number 1, this should come as no surprise, especially coming from me. As far as chain killing is concerned, there is no one better than Albus's Magic Knight. Why is he number 1? Well, for starters, Albus is the only troubleshooter to have turning over a new leaf. This essentially allows him to do 2 back-to-back actions no matter what, regardless of what you're doing, and allows him so many options, from vigor restoring and continuing on to lower his AT, to healing a teammate, to making impossible movements that you would never see on any other player. It's absolutely ridiculous, and that's to say nothing of the Magic Knight class. Soul Drain allows for a full vigor restore after every kill, essentially giving him an unlimited vigor pool. You see right here, Hanson actually comes in because of comradeship. He has access to Bloodbath, which you can then bleed and get the second action point back. This allows him to make movements on, you know, butchers and units that would normally be too powerful. Take like Renzi or Wei with his impulse fields. Every kill grants a stack of Cursed Sword, and it just grows his damage over and over with attack power and ESP power, which he does take into effect. Shadow Blade will give each stack of Cursed Sword a 1% block shred, making so that eventually at 100 stacks he will have 100% basically block shred. Right here, very interesting. Decide to use Windwalk, and then at this point, not only is Tornado Slash down, so you know you want to kind of use it as a boost, I decide to use his special Storm Slash, and that's because Storm Slash actually has a lower ratio. Had that been Tornado Slash, he would have killed him in a single hit. This, of course, is going to grant him Bloodbath, giving him back his 2 action points and showing him, well, showing you guys exactly why he is the king of chain killing. He then continues on up to the complete other side via turning over a new leaf. He has a combination of double cooldown from both Catharsis and One Strike, One Head. This allows for cycling abilities at an unprecedented speed. Turning over a new leaf and Windwalk both have a 5-turn cooldown, and after used, turn into a 6-turn cooldown. That means that at double the speed, he gets it back by 3 turns. 3 kills allows him to reuse everything that he just got. It's totally absurd, and particularly up here with Wei, I like showing this part because this is something that no other troubleshooter can do. So he's still clearing out this left side here of all of the clowns. You can see he's now at 75 stacks, and what's interesting is I do show this is how much distance he has to cover, probably somewhere in the realm of like, I don't know, 30 tiles, 40 tiles. This cannot be done by any other troubleshooter, that's for sure. So, thankfully, I saved Wei for last. This gives him his health back, by the way, from the forestallment. Another ridiculous Magic Knight ability. It gives him 2 action points, and of course, he is fully loaded to use turning over a new leaf. We then have him cover, you know, I don't know, 20 tiles or so, and another 10 tiles, and then he can, of course, Windwalk and be at the next pack as necessary. This is just ridiculous, and this is something that Heixing can't really do. You know, you could try and design something around Deep Sea Escape or something like that, but ultimately, no other character can do this, and this is why he is the king of chain killing without fail. However, if you guys want to see something a little bit more intense, here is Albus running a solo run on 54 Violent, and You know, this is on Magic Knight. He is at 99 stacks, and Ben, one of the strongest characters in the game, goes down in a single wind slash. Obviously, that's ridiculous. Albus, of course, to avoid close suppressive fire from Sanson, can wind walk and then just slash him, you know, not having to deal with the forestallment whatsoever. He can then use the clowns to essentially reset his cooldowns as needed. You know, so right here we're actually resetting his wind walk cooldown intentionally. And if you really want to see, you know, how ridiculous Magic Knight can get, not only can he wind walk to him, not only can he leaf, but if you design Albus correctly, he can, of course, also kill Enhanced Schwartz in a single wave. And, even crazier, continue chain killing. Absolutely insane, and there's just no other character that can do it quite like Albus. Alright, honorable mention to Scion's Black Mage and Ray's Grenadier. They are both pretty savage. They just come a little bit shy. Scion kind of has the same issue with Bianca in that he has to rely on just Magic Stamp. He doesn't even have the option for Great Valley Wind. And then to really get that back in Catharsis only is very difficult. You kind of have to do single target the entire time like you see here, and it just, you know, Scion specializes in AoE. You know, if I had made an AoE list, you can believe that he would certainly be much higher in the standings, but he is certainly powerful as a Black Mage here. And of course, Ray's Grenadier, absolutely amazing. The only problem, you know, she's similar to Scion in that whatever she can see, she can kill, right? And with that massive amount of range, hell, even things she can't see, she can kill if you're playing her right. But she doesn't really have a way to get 2 AP back unless you really futz with the damage, and I think it's Perfectionist. But, you know, they certainly come very close to this list. I can throw up a quick tier maker list here. I do obviously consider Albus as an S-rank chain killer for unlimited reasons. Double AP return on Bloodbath, Leaf for double actions, Windwalk, Soul Drain for unlimited vigor, stacks of Curse, Sword, Shadow Blade, etc. It's ridiculous. It's unbelievable. I do also consider Heixing to be S-rank, and that's quite literally because of Sweeping Fire. It's just that good when used correctly, but also because he has access to Annihilation Shot, making it possible for him to finish a chain kill on the strongest bosses currently in the game. And then, of course, Bianca, Leton, and Giselle are all missing something important. Bianca has limited AP recovery via high cooldowns like Magic Stamp or Great Valley Wind. Leton relies on continuous and breakthrough, so it can be sort of unreliable and skill-based. And then Giselle has limited multi-attack capability. However, all three of them can certainly wipe the floor with most enemies without any issues. I have created a full list with 11 characters and 2 classes for each, but even I get unsure sometimes in justifying who goes where. But that's it for this video. If the video does well, I'll consider doing a DPS tier list or tanking tier list, etc. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and until next time.